Hey guys, welcome back to Sarcastic Remarks. Alongside my brother Chris to my right, my name is Ryan Chambers. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of THPN. Chris has a very blank face because that is exactly how I feel right now. The Stars, you'll never get, you'll never guess. The Stars lose in a shootout, 2-1 to the Minnesota Wild, marking the fifth loss in overtime or shootouts in it feels like the past 3 games. Um, Chris, I have an opening monologue, so I apologize, but I'm gonna monologue here for a second. But would you like to get in a few words before I monologue?
Yeah, we've done it. We have finally done it. We are the leaders in extra time losses. I have never seen that before of any division leader or anything where the team was so good and so terrible past 60. So the Stars have officially done it. They are on top of the world when it comes to extra time losses.
I don't know what Stars fans want at this point because
I
I'm
know
gonna
what they
say that.
want. They want an overtime win.
No, I don't care about an overtime win. I want a freaking regulation win, and I want to win where the Stars take advantage of their opportunities. They score 5-on-5. They score shorthanded. They score on the freaking gosh dang power play, and they score more than 2 goals in the game. I'm sorry, but I'm over it. I am so over it with this team. And the thing is, we are first in the freaking Western Conference, and I'm this frustrated. I mean, that is how ridiculous this is. I'm sorry. I'm over it. I don't understand. They have to score. They have to capitalize on their chances. Last game, I kind of was like, you know what? Eventually, they're going to fix this. They're going to figure it out. You know, they're not. They're not figuring it out. They're 3-1-5 in their recent record. 3-1-5. This is ridiculous. I'm so over it. This is ridiculous. Everything about this team right now, I'm getting frustrated with. And maybe that's not the reaction that, some people were expecting from me. But this team is so much better than this. They're so much better than this. Is Kiviranta really that big of a deal to this team?
No.
Is he really that big of a deal to this team? I'm so sorry that I'm being like super emotional about this right now. But the thing is they're not getting the job done. They are a number 1 team in this league, and they are not taking care of business. And it's on I don't know who to put it on. That's the thing. Do I put it on the top line? I can't put it on the top line. I can't put it on Jamie Benn. He has 3 goals. He's had 3 goals in the past. Well, a goal in the last 4 games. He scored in 3 of the 4. I can't even think straight because I'm so frustrated. They need to figure this out. I'm over it, Chris. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. It's the same crap from Monday, or Tuesday. Same exact crap. Yeah. Can't score. Power play sucks. They can't figure it out. And again, I'm going to say, I know you're going to disagree with me. They don't have that killer instinct. And they are focusing way too much on the defense. Okay, I know this team, this is their identity, and they have to play defense. But if you don't score goals, you don't win the game. You don't win. That's the thing. You have to score goals to win the game. I love how great they played tonight on the defensive front. But it seems like it always takes the other team playing at a higher level just a little bit, or them scoring first before the Stars decide to get their act into gear. And I'm over it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just frustrated.
That last point is especially the case. I mean, it feels like we can't get going on our own. It feels like we have to wait for the other team to do something, and we have to react to it, which is the exact opposite of what you want to be doing. You want to be imposing your will on the other team. So that's pretty terrible. James makes a good point in the comments. A huge part of it is the power play. They are 5-50 since January 1st, which is a crazy statistic, especially since we're still top 10 in power play goals in the entire NHL. So when you can't score at all on the power play, that's pretty. I mean, not only is that going to hinder your scoring overall, it's going to slow your momentum down because of how bad our power plays have been. We had one power play tonight that looked close, and we had a lot of chances. But I'm agreeing with you on especially your last point because all these games have looked the exact same. Like this was the exact same game as Boston, and then the Boston game was the exact same game as the Anaheim game. All these overtime games are the exact same. I mean, I feel
It's
like it's
not
Groundhog Day.
working.
Yeah,
It's not working.
and that's my
Change
next point.
something.
That's my next point. Something has to change.
Even at this point, I am all for splitting up the top line. That is how ridiculous I feel like we are in a rut right now. And, we've been praising, DeBoer for sticking with his lines and trying to get chemistry going. But the toilet is clogged right now with some real nasty gunk, and it is not working right now. Marchment needs to go down to the fourth line. Throw Garrionoff up on the top line. I don't do something at this point because none of this is working. When things are not working for you, and it's I know James is right 100% about the power play. We are getting chance after chance after chance, and realize we haven't been complaining about the officiating lately. It's because we've been getting more. We have been getting more power plays than the other team recently. So I guess the solution is just to tell the refs, screw it, don't call anything. Don't call anything.
Go back to the way it was before.
Yes, go back to because yeah, we were frustrated, but at least we were still winning games.
Yeah, that was the only thing we were frustrated about.
And
but I 100% agree. Something they need to make a big change, like a full blender on every single line, because it's not just the power play. The power play has been terrible, yes, but we were scoring 5-on-5. That's the main we were winning games. We were scoring 5-on-5 goals because we weren't getting the power plays, like we were saying. So it's not just the power play; it is every single facet of the Stars game right now. The only thing that looks good is the defense, and they're focusing. I agree with you 100%. They're focusing on it way too much. And that's why you're getting the reaction is so good. We react to them scoring the goal. It's like, oh, wow, the Stars are back. They're playing. And then we can't get the second goal at the end of the third. And it goes to overtime. So we lose. That's just the way it goes. So I definitely agree. Stop. I don't know if they're putting a focus on defense or what, but stop doing that. And I agree 100%. When you're in this deep of a rut, I mean, it's time for a blender.
Well, and the other thing you do is when your team, and I apologize for everyone. I'm sorry if I blew off your eardrums. There's just like this anger. It's not even anger. It's just frustration just building up in me. So I apologize. I just care too much about this team and I want to see them succeed. And we've seen them succeed. So that's why I'm frustrated. But the other thing is that you do when you have a frustrating time going on like this is you simplify the game. You simplify the game, and we need to put more focus on the offensive side of the game. That's something that at, November, December, we were doing really well on. I would argue that October, we were focusing too much on the offensive side, and we were letting the other side get too many odd man chances. We fixed that, I feel like, in my opinion. I guess you disagree slightly. I just watched your face.
Just look at the stats. I mean, it was great before. I mean, every once in a while we would allow 4 goals, and most of those games that we allowed 4 goals, we won. So, and
it's just the other thing is that you need to put more focus on the offensive side of the game. And the weird thing is that when I'm sitting here watching this team, never did I have a thought about, oh, we're playing bonus hockey right now. I never had that inclination, that thought in any of these games, but it's the same result, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well,
right. It's too much focus on the defensive side of the game.
Well, the system of the team is still completely different from what Bones was doing. Bones is playing a trap system, trying to trap them at the red line and just dump and chase on the offensive side. We're still playing the strong side pressure forecheck plus the puck possession kind of game still. It's just I don't know why we're focusing a lot on cycle defense, it feels like. And we get the cycle defense down, they don't get a great chance, but then we just chip it out of our zone and we don't get a good chance in their end. So it's weird.
So I guess we'll talk about the power play again because we just have to continue to talk about it. But it's the same sort of thing. They're looking too much for the perfect pass. Those perfect passes are not connecting right now. They're not. You cannot look for them right now. Simplify the game.
And the best chance we had was the crap in front of the net. We chop it in front of the net. We get good chances. We had a wide open net and it got cleared at the last second. I mean, Johnston was right there. Talk about Johnson and empty nets. Johnston was right there to score the goal there. So that's the best chance. Your best chance is not trying the short little passes through the box. I mean, just get it to the top and rifle it, or get it to the side, rifle it on a shoulder so that you get a rebound, crash the net, simplify the game. Don't try and make the crazy Ovechkin one-timer. Just crash the net. So I agree with that. Again, 100%. It's got to be more simple. It's got to be stupid hockey. And I agree also with the specific statement of the passes aren't connecting right now. And I don't think that's anybody's fault. I just think
it's just the nature of the beast right now. The hockey gods are not with us right now. Like, we forgot to sacrifice the stick of rope hints or something, and it just nothing is connecting right now.
Yeah, but the only way to get out of that is to score goals, and then you get the confidence back, and then you start making those passes again. So it's not the passing's problem; it's the problem that we're in a weird slump. So I pretty much agree with everything you're saying right now, Ryan. I mean, change something. Power play's got to change. Everything's got to simplify. That's pretty much it from tonight. Tomorrow we need to come out guns blazing. We need to win tomorrow night's game 7-5. I mean, screw the defense. Just go all out. I would love to see some line scrambles.
I'd rather see 7-2, 7-1.
Obviously, we'd rather see that, but I want to see over 5 goals because I feel like something like that could get you out of this. But man, it is just crazy.
So more on the power play. Just get it deep, put it up to the defenseman, and just take a shot from the point.
But then they have to hit the net too, because
exactly.
Miro Heiskanen and Ryan Suter and even Lundqvist were all missing. They weren't hitting the net.
But the thing is, they're doing too much of the cycle stuff, and there were a couple of good shifts where they were cycling, and I was just like, okay, this is good. This looks great. But I just don't know what to do with this team.
Blender.
Robertson on the second line, Ben on the top line, Gurianov with Ben and Glendening.
Sure,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't care. Just change something. I mean, I'm cool with sticking with your lines and trusting your guys to a point, but I mean, there's something going on. There's some voodoo. So we need to send some weird energy back.
Okay, I do want to talk about Johnston for a second, and let me tell you all the story that I told Chris right before we came on air here. I was watching the game a little later because I wanted to spend some time with my kids when I came home, and we played Hi Ho Cheerio. So if you ever played Hi Ho Cheerio, it's an amazing little game for kids, and it's amazing. Hey, who cares segment for next week? Top 3 board games. We should do that. Okay. Anyways, so I started the game at like 8:00. I started late. So I was going through the end of the third period. The third period ended, and then I got the notification from the Athletic, the Stars lose, and the shootout 2-1. And I'm like, of course they do. I don't even get to watch the overtime.
Keeping your notifications on.
So then I decide, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna watch the overtime anyway. Maybe it was a good overtime and it was fun to watch, which it was fun to watch. I'll be honest with that. And then I watched Johnston miss the wide open net with 7 seconds remaining in the game. And at that point, I didn't even watch. I'll be honest, I didn't even watch the shootout. No. I was so disheveled, just disheartened.
And everything
of my being was gone.
I really just feel bad for Johnston too, though, because he misses that goal and then he kind of is the loser in the shootout. I mean, and he played such a good game. Like, this is one of his best games of the season. He has an assist. He has 4 shots on goal. It's a miracle he didn't score 2. And he's thanked with Just sadness. I mean, I feel bad for him.
If this was like, if we could put a title to this episode, frustration and sadness.
Frustration and sadness. There
Like, I mean, that's literally what this is right now. So, I mean, is there anything else the Stars need to do? Well, I mean, like, maybe we need to have like, what do they call it? Like a revival. Yeah, we need to have a revival and just put a revival. Everybody, we're gonna do a revival before the game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're gonna hold it at 4:00 in front of the American Airlines Center on PNC Plaza.
What's a revival?
We're just gonna like sing and pray to the hockey gods that like they send down their blessings to the Dallas Stars, and that we don't go to overtime anymore for the rest of the regular season. I'm okay with it in the playoffs because somehow we'll figure it out in the playoffs. But right now they suck booty hole when it comes to overtime and shootout. They just cannot figure it out.
Biggest winner?
Yes, please.
Biggest winner is Jamie Benn. Throughout all this crap, he's been the best player by far. Every game we've won is pretty much because of Jamie Benn, and he continues to be fantastic. Love Jamie Benn.
My biggest winner is going to be Jake Ottinger. He continues to be one of the best goaltenders in the NHL at this point. I don't think he's going to get the consideration for the Vezina that he deserves. I could see him being maybe 4th or 5th, but I just don't see him getting in that top 3. And with the numbers that Linus Ullmark has, those numbers are ridiculous. I know he has a really good team in front of him, but he has been a very good goaltender for that team, and he's playing out of his mind. He's having a career year right now, so he's probably going to win the Vezina. If it were me, the next one would be Jake Ottinger, just for what he's done for this team. He's played so many games. It's just ridiculous what he's done.
.969 save percentage in a loss.
That's freaking ridiculous.
He allowed 1 goal. Biggest loser.
He got the 3rd star of the game as well.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that's too low. He should have been 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest losers, Pete DeBoer. Why is Rope Hintz not the 4th guy, at least, on the shootout? Confused.
I don't blame him for that because Johnston, maybe he was trying to give Johnston a second chance to kind of get the goal and, tie it up.
Okay, then
considering he missed the...
Why is Joe Pavelski taking a penalty shot? It was not good. It was bad. I know you didn't watch it, but he just kind of skated forward and shot it right into his chest. So,
well, and I'll give my biggest loser, and then I want to get into this a little bit. And I mentioned his name very briefly, but Mason Marchment is the biggest loser tonight. He gets lucky because some of the stuff he does, he riles up the other team and he takes penalties. And thankfully, like tonight, the other team took a penalty with it. I guess the second biggest loser is Matt Dumba. Yeah, both times. And he's just not doing what the Stars need him to do right now. Nobody is, I guess, for that matter.
But he's especially egregious because he hasn't scored since the beginning of December. We were
right
in December.
And the thing is you can't. Some of the let me say this comment because Dad put this on our little group chat. I hope he doesn't mind that I'm reading his text to the whole family group chat.
Plagiarism.
Only person to score was Ben. This one tonight was on Rope Hintz and Jason Robertson. See, I slightly agree with him because they have not been scoring at the same pace that they were at the beginning of the season. But at the same time, it can't just be those guys.
Well,
right?
It can't just be those guys when that's your first line. It's supposed to be
they need
the
to
best
be scoring.
Line in hockey. I mean, 2 out of the last 3 games, they lost to the other team's top line. I mean, if you're the number 1 team in the conference, your first line should be better than the other team's first line every single game. And they haven't been, so.
What I'm really hoping for with Mason Marchment that he just maybe the first year is like Joe Pavelski's first year. Joe Pavelski's first year was not very good at all. Like at all. 0. And maybe the following 3 years he'll be better.
Yeah.
But it's just the thing I'm most frustrated about is this team is first in the Western Conference right now. Other teams are starting to catch up to them, and I'm tired of hearing about, oh, well, the Western Conference is much suckier than the Eastern Conference. And if the Stars would just put forth just a little bit more effort, win half of these games, you win 6 of these games,
Yeah.
and they're running away with the Western Conference. It's not even close who the best team in the Western Conference
Well,
is
the
right
problem
now.
is I don't even think it's effort, and that's the same thing with Marchment. Like, I feel like Marchment isn't showing bad effort. He's playing hard. Tonight he played hard. 4 penalty minutes because he's scrapping around with the other team. He's playing hard. He's just he can't score. And that's what we need him for. I mean, playing hard is great and everything, but when we signed him to be a top 6 guy, and he's not being that guy right now.
Well, I thought this would be kind of fun, so let's take a look at it. I am literally looking at this live on the pod while it's going on. Ryan O'Reilly apparently has been traded from the St. Louis Blues. I don't know if you've seen that, Chris, but
Nope.
I'm going to look up the details of this trade here real quick. So, looks like Ryan O'Reilly is going to be going to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
For who? Who do they have left?
I don't know.
Has it been released yet? Well,
looks like
either
it. Let's
way,
see.
There's another name off the table for the Stars to get. He wasn't really high on anybody's list anyway, though. So, but that's something we didn't talk about. I mean, adding someone to the team right now is probably one of the best times to do it. So, it's another option.
All right, so this is from Elliot Friedman. So this is what it is. Toronto gets Ryan O'Reilly and Nola Chari, who apparently Nola Chari was on the move as well. He's kind of a bottom 6 guy. St. Louis in return is going to get Adam Gaudette, Mikhail Abramov. I'm assuming that's probably one of their prospects because I have not heard of him before. They also get Toronto's first rounder in 2023, Ottawa's third rounder in 2023 that Toronto owns, and then also Toronto's second round pick in 2024. So, and then in between this, Minnesota also is part of this trade as well as a middleman. So I'm assuming to bring the cap hit down of Ryan O'Reilly. And because they're the middlemen between these two teams, Toronto, they get Toronto's 4th round pick in order to make this trade work.
So Toronto's not drafting.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. But so, I mean, just initial thoughts hearing about this, Chris, because this is very interesting.
I'm kind of shocked that the Toronto would want a player that old again when they already have a couple of guys like that, but more power to them. Sure. I mean, more cup experience, why not?
Here's what I'm thinking. Ryan O'Reilly is going to be a middle 6 guy for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and maybe even a 3rd line guy.
Yeah, I was about to say at the highest.
So he could play up into the 2nd line, I feel like, and there's no need for him to play into the top line because of what Toronto has. But you got to look at who Toronto is going to be playing in the first round. Who are they going to be playing?
The Lightning?
The Lightning. More than likely, they're going to be playing the Tampa Bay Lightning again for the 2nd year in a row. So this makes a lot of sense for me if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, screw your draft picks. You've got Austin Matthews. You've got all these guys. They're in the top of their league right now. And they're better than the Stars actually right now. And I think they're like 3rd in their division, maybe 2nd in their division. It's crazy to think. And
Doesn't matter. They're going to lose in the first round anyway.
Yeah, that's the joke. And Ryan O'Reilly brings Stanley Cup experience to that team. And yes, I know people sometimes hate saying that, but yeah, they get some experience there. And Ryan O'Reilly is a jerk to play against. Even if he's not scoring, he is a jerk to play against. He reminds me a lot of Jamie Benn. He's just that big power forward who's nasty, who puts up goals. Even when he's not playing his best, he's still effective. So that's going to be a fun matchup to see just in the first round. But normally I wouldn't mention that, but considering, it happened just now and we're already here. Might as well discuss it and mention it. So, okay. Well, we'll see what if the Stars can get any kind of deadline move. Go and listen to that episode from Wednesday about whether Kane is a good fit for the Dallas Stars. I think we came to the conclusion that he's not, and I don't think the Stars should go after him. But, Chris, what are you hoping the Stars do? Do the Stars need a forward to kind of mix this team up, put them in a blender?
I hope they do anything.
Something. Anything. All right. Anything else we need to mention, Chris?
No, I'm sad.
Yep. I'm sad too, and I feel a lot better because I ranted for the first like 5-6 minutes. So I'm calm now. So thank y'all for letting me vent. So maybe that's it, but that's why I have a podcast, is just to get all that frustration out of my body. And I don't know, hopefully other Stars fans feel that way.
And onto your bodies. Yes,
onto your bodies. Exactly. I guess. Yeah. That just sounded so weird saying that.
Yeah,
okay, anyways, anything else, Chris?
No.
Nope. Go and check out sarcasticremarks.com. Thank you guys for supporting us, and go out and check sarcasticremarksshop.com. That's the best way to support us and what we do here. Thank you again to our sponsors, Raycon and DraftKings Sportsbook, for being our sponsors. Use the promo code THPN the next time you're using their services. And along with Chris, my name is Ryan. We will catch you guys on the flip side. We will be back with you guys again tomorrow night when the Stars take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Hope you guys have a good, fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are listening. We will see you guys later.